You want me to put that on my Tudor?
Harry's wife, Meganpedia. You'll laugh until you wee. Warning. You'll be advised to listen to this near your bathroom, as there's a very good chance you'll laugh until your bladder gives way and you'll wet yourself. Warning. Ensure that you listen to this video whilst you are near a bathroom, for fear of having a toilet accident. Warning, ensure that you have access to a toilet to ensure a low point in your life by wetting yourself as a consequence of uncontrollable laughter. Hello, I'm HG Tudor. Playing ball with you, as I invariably do with my valuable viewers, it's important for me to let you know that you need to ensure that you have easy access to somewhere that you can urinate, because there's a good chance that after listening to what I have to tell you, or even part-way through, you're going to need to go wee-wee, because you'll wet yourself as a consequence of laughter. I've happened upon, as a consequence of direction given to me by one of my valuable viewers, something called Meganpedia. Ah, yes. It appears to have been created back in 2020, and its title is Meganpedia, Fact-Checking Misconception and Preconception. There's a great big picture of Harry with spare available now, order now. So this website is a platform for ensuring more copies of WA are sold. And what does the About Us tell us? Well, it states Meganpedia is a fact-based information website. So it's going to be a problem, that, isn't it, when it involves the Duchess of Sussex, which is dedicated to the Duchess of Sussex, Harry's wife. Note, it's not dedicated to Harry, only to the Duchess of Sussex, and that the sales of WA are obviously being done to benefit her rather than him. The website's goal, we're told, is to gather all important information about the Duchess of Sussex and combine them in one single library. Well, I should imagine then that'll just be one sheet of paper, wouldn't it? Because most of the information about her isn't important in the slightest. It states, "We are supporters and a global tribe," right, "who believe that the work the Duke and Duchess of Sussex champion promotes respect, peace, really, prosperity through empowerment, freedom for all people, regardless of ethnic origin, and we seek to highlight the impact of this work. We believe in responsible reporting of their work because education brings insight." Well, noble ideals indeed, but quite hilarious to suggest that it promotes respect when their behaviours of grubbing around for money based upon victimhood and lashing out at other people is far from something that would promote respect. Peace? What peace have they brought to the lives of the people that they've involved with? What peace does Thomas Markle Sr. experience as a consequence of the way that his daughter has treated him? What peace has been brought with regard to Harry's wife and her half-sister, Samantha, as they duke it out in court? What peace has been brought for the late Queen, whose final years were tormented as a consequence of the behaviour of Harry's wife? Peace, my backside. Prosperity through empowerment. The only prosperity that occurs is the state of Harry's wife's bank balance. Freedom for all people? Well, no, Harry's wife's preoccupation is dealing with women. And even then, she doesn't do it properly. Men, particularly white men, are left far behind, even though, of course, all through her life, she's leeched off them. Witness father, Trevor, Cora, Corey even, and also Harry. But what more does this bastion of noble behaviour tell us? The internet is full of information, facts, and gossip about the Duchess of Sussex. Meganpedia collects reliable information, with references to facilitate fans, bloggers, writers, and activists, with credible facts about Duchess Harry's wife. Our goals are to educate those interested in the life and work of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, promote objective reporting and defend what's right. I think, isn't it a case of when you determine what's right, that's subjective? Question fake news, tabloids, racist trolls, outright lies, skullduggery and propaganda. So do you spend a lot of time questioning your own material? This is a repository educational site based on reported information. While we take every precaution to verify the accuracy of the information, we are not responsible for the content of other sites. Why we do this? This page was created to invalidate the false narrative that the British media has created against the Duchess of Sussex. Or, might it be said, to propagate a particular narrative put forward by the Duchess of Sussex to nullify the threat to control that's posed by what other people state. The royal reporters have used gossip and made up stories to bully, before pregnancy, while pregnant, and even postpartum, a woman who has done nothing. Got that bit right. But championing for equality since she was a little girl, supporting women businesses, using her voice platform to empower girls, and giving a voice and bringing attention to charities that wouldn't be at the forefront otherwise but are doing amazing work. Again, what level of delusion is the creator of this site operating under? Championing equality. What, by just talking about it? She doesn't actually do anything. Supporting women businesses. What, by hijacking their campaigns and saying, look at me, for instance, see parts pass him about the lack of investment in clever coffee. Bringing attention to charities. Yes, by highlighting their work for her own benefit. They have been relentless with false stories because they don't want to focus on what's really going on in and with the country, and any real scandals because she's the scapegoat. Doesn't even make sense what's written there. Through it all, she's remained graceful, classy, and strong. Yes, by crying about it. That's showing real strength, isn't it? Leave me alone, stop picking on me, you're racist, you're haters. Yes, she's classy. What? By repeatedly misbehaving and telling lies about other people. That's classy, isn't it? She doesn't focus on the noise. So we created this page to debunk the false stories, promote their charities, and write facts-based articles and share the positivity, the impact and results of their work. Help us share our articles. Then it references the TIG archives. Check out the TIG archives, Duchess Harry's wife's now defunct lifestyle, travel and food blog. Meganpedia is constantly updating and expanding the archive pages. So that's what it tells us that it does. Now, if one didn't know any better, one would almost think that, is this something that Harry's wife has created? It wouldn't be a surprise, would it, if she had? After all, what does she do all day? The nannies look after the kids. Harry runs around and involves himself with them to an extent. And of course, there are some that believe that kids don't exist and are just actors that are brought out, somebody else's children. So if you believe that, then there's nobody to look after. They don't run businesses. Sure, there's Archwell, but they've got a staff that's appointed there that do all of the hard work. Harry just smokes drugs and then goes around telling everybody about his latest diagnosis and telling everybody about how he has been the victim of terrible behaviour, all of which, of course, which has been inserted into his head by his wife. More about that in forthcoming videos. And what does she do? Occasionally dresses up as one of our Giles is missing and goes shopping and tells the paparazzi. Turns up and bores everybody into a comatose state by making a speech here and there. Issues pronouncements, purchases awards. But on a day-to-day basis, it's not like there's a load of hard graft going on. So might she have created this? Well, we don't know for certain. But it's a possibility. After all, bear in mind, she has plenty of time on her hands and, of course, can't stand the fact that there is this false narrative determined by her in the social media and the mainstream media, which, of course, is all a threat to control. Now, it tells us there's plenty here. There's something called Harry's wife's journey. And part of that is royal life. What does it tell us? The first article, this is from 2019 by Julia Napier. And it tells us Prince Ciso, Prince Harry made the right decision. Oh, I see. And it's a press interview prior to the wedding of Harry and Harry's wife. And so it basically put forward some propaganda. And in the comments, there are 6 comments. They had a blue-eyed blonde English rose picked out for Harry, one they could cower and keep under their thumbs. Harry said, "No thanks, I can find my own woman." What a find she is. I think she found him though, didn't she? Somebody else, Harry said, "We are a great couple, we know we are. The man loves his wife." That's true, he does. Great work, Prince Ciso and Prince Harry. Good for Harry, he chose well, so well. I love learning what people who actually know the Duke and Duchess have to say about them. It speaks volumes compared to the bullies in the press. What, you mean like their own family, who've had plenty to say about them and know precisely what Harry's wife is like? Is that what you mean? Only 6 comments, though. And then comments are closed. One wonders how many comments were made which were anti-Harry's wife and have been purged. You can support this page if you were absolutely out of your fucking mind, and there's different ways of doing so. You can make a donation or become a patron. And then there's a comment policy. What does that tell us? The comment policy is you must use your name or nickname for commenting, valid email, language and manners, etc. Don't derail the conversation, no personal attacks, hold harmless, etc. So it sets out all the various rules, and it has something called Meganpedia receipts also. And have a look at what that is. And it's the latest receipts. Balcony moment. Harry and Harry's wife Oceania tour. Loss of eyelashes. Victoria Arbiter blames Sussex squad. Kate Robertson criticises Harry and Harry's wife. Toxic royalists harass school. Kate and Carol Middleton rudeness. Interesting. So Dan Wooten calls King Charles horrible husband. So it's all about let's be nice to Harry's wife, but we'll include material which is nasty about other individuals. And it then links in other places also. Basically, this whole platform has been set up for the purposes of supporting Harry's wife, and blindly does so. It doesn't appear to have been necessarily kept up to date. The latest article appears to be something from January 2022. There's an article, Debunking Media Stories. Let's talk about Camilla Tominay's voracious appetite for lying. So, of course, it's not just a case of trying to put out stories which are favourable to Harry's wife, but is, of course, going on attack against other people. And this is typical, of course, as I've explained in numerous videos, about this attitude of, I must be allowed to say what I want to say, but you're not allowed to say what you're going to say because it contradicts my narrative. I'm allowed freedom of expression, you're not. You're allowed freedom of expression so long as it accords with mine. Loath as I am to give too much publicity to this place, but if you do want a jolly good laugh, you might want to go and have a look at some of the articles. For instance, the one from January the 11th is referring to Shitflix's Harry and Harry's wife, talking about episodes 4 to 6, so about a month earlier. Starts off, wow, what a stunning closure for the second and final instalment of Shitflix Harry and Harry's Wife's documentary. Director Liz Garbus, an Emmy-winning and 2-time Oscar-nominated documentary filmmaker, came with her A-game to lift the edge of the carpet for an unvarnished view. It's not unvarnished, is it? It's all staged. Come on, you thicko. You ought to have realised that. Everything they're doing, they know they're being filmed and they know they're being photographed. So it's staged. So it's completely varnished. But this writer states, lift the edge of the carpet for an unvarnished view of the underpinnings of the royal institution, family and the British press, and their symbiotic parasitic relationship used against Harry's wife, her family and friends, but also against Harry and Harry's wife as a unit. Garber showed us the tenets as if of a medieval fantasy: enemies at the gate, betrayal within the palace walls, stepmother's machinations, slaying of dragons, older mentors, fairy godfathers, and a harrowing quest. For this was a story about survival, about winning, about validation against the backdrop of a massive gaslighting, abusive, and manipulative scheme. What? Harry's wife's scheme. Again, all of this writes as if it's the kind of crap that Harry's wife would write, isn't it? And one wonders to what extent she has an involvement in this. It really wouldn't surprise me if she has some involvement in this. But This utter splodge of Sussex propaganda demonstrates the lack of objectivity of this individual. And I'm sure I could create an entire separate series going through each and every item that has been written here, parodying it and taking it apart. Indeed, I'd probably need a separate channel given the wealth of material and the arse-licking that is going on here. But it once again highlights the fact that there still remains a body of people, although it has to be said, they don't appear to be writing with any degree of frequency in supporting Harry's wife. Instead, it intermittently now propagates support for them and an attempt to support them by attacking those that are deemed to attack them. And it spends its time firmly wedged up the backside of Harry's wife with rampant and unmerited praise for her. So this is Meganpedia, and it really is a nonsense publication which demonstrates the way that certain people have a failure to understand the evidence and how they're utterly blinded in their support of these two individuals. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.